Hey there, welcome back to The Magic in the Music. I'm Jen. I was thinking about what were the things that were giving me pause or I really wondered about when I was thinking about becoming a Disney Vacation Club member. One of the biggest questions that I had is, what does 7-month availability look like for DVC? Now, of course, this is a moving target. It changes all the time, so there never is a static view of what 7-month availability looks like, but I've decided to log in, and today I'm going to show you what it looks like at the moment, and this is really targeted at people who are maybe considering becoming members, and so you don't have access to this information, so you can see what it looks like, but also people who are members that really want to maximize their membership, and I'm going to give a little bit of insight and some thoughts about what your best strategies are going to be in order to get some of those harder to book reservations at the 7-month window. So let's jump right into it. And here we are. So we're going to just kind of go through this list. I'll give you some comments, show you how I kind of use this system and interface with it. And a lot of you probably do it the same. If you have other tips or suggestions, please make sure you leave them in the comments below. That's really, really helpful for our video, and it just helps our viewers to get the best possible experience. So you can see here, Kidani Village tends to have very good availability at the 7-month window, and this is no exception. Now, of course, May 1st is not a peak travel time, so I would expect to have fairly good availability here at the 7-month window, and that's what we're seeing. You can see if there were any rooms that were not fully available for that full week, it would show down here at the bottom, and there's nothing there. So full availability at Kidani. Riviera Resort. That's one where we have a lot of availability, but you can see this window pop up, not seeing rooms you want. Click on view other rooms, and that's going to reveal what does not have full availability. That preferred view studio, it's looking pretty good. It just has a few holes here and there, so nothing major. And you can see I can click in this field or on the little arrow and it'll pull down that menu. Same thing for the 2-bedroom lock-off with the preferred view, and then it gets to be a little bit tighter availability on the 2-bedroom. The studio with the standard view, that's a very desirable room as well. You can see definitely harder to book at 7 months because in order to get any of these nights, you'd have to have the 11-month booking window, and it would have to be your home resort. And then finally, the very popular Tower Studio, only one night available. So you can see this one, patchy availability. There are a few here and there back in April, but there's really not very good availability. Even beyond the 7-month window, there's really quite a bit eaten up already. And I do want to point this out. A lot of people don't realize you have these little arrows here that can move forward and back. So if I wanted to go to 11 months, which would be September 1st, I could go all the way out to September 1st. You can see it right there. And actually, September 1st is gone and no longer available. So there you go. Moving on to Polynesian. Polynesian has tended to have pretty good availability. Most of the time, you can see that it's really quite good for the standard view studio. The Lakeview studio sometimes will book up faster than the standard view. Now we move on to Aulani. Now this one I have not booked personally, so I haven't had to deal with the 7-month window yet, but you can see availability looks pretty good for almost every category. Let's see what rooms are not available right now. So you have 5 nights available out of 7 for this stay, our imaginary stay in the standard view studio. Still, though, quite a bit of availability, but you can see that this is a popular room. Definitely a lot of the nights picked off there in the 11-month window. And same thing for the 2-bedroom lock-off and the 2-bedroom standard view. Now, here's the hotel room. This has a very, very limited availability, and it really shows here because you can see these blue ones are available, and then the gray or the very pale blue means unavailable. And look at the summer. Wow. So it isn't until August you have a little bit of a patchy availability, and then starts to open up again in the summer. I'll close that up just to make it cleaner. Look at that. 3-bedroom grand villa is gone. Whoa. And that's an expensive room as well. And wow. Some people just love that. There must not be very many of those available. I'll have to look that up. and find out how many of those they actually have, because they are gone. All right, Saratoga Springs. A lot of people call this the resort of last resort. Well, it's actually a great resort, especially now that they have done the remodel with those Murphy beds, the Queen Murphy beds in the studios and the one bedrooms. And I think it's a great addition. So there's a lot to love about Saratoga Springs. It's still a huge resort, and it's almost always the last one to fully book. So you can see lots and lots of availability there, everything full availability at 7 months, and that's pretty typical. Moving on to Bay Lake Tower, this is a popular one that has a couple of room types that do book up. You can see most of the room types that are available, but we do have some that are not full availability. The 1-bedroom standard view, the 3-bedroom grand villa with the lake view, the theme park view limited, that theme park view studio, that would be a very popular room. You can see still you have a chance at that. I'd say at the 7-month window, you got a chance. And the 2-bedroom lock off with the theme park view. So you can kind of see their different levels of availability, or how sought after these are. Standard view studio at Bay Lake Tower is very desirable, and this really tells the tale right here. You're not going to be getting that for this time. Now, if you were looking to get this at 7-month window, and maybe you were looking for like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you might be able to get your foot in the door the following week, but it's not happening the first week of May. And let's kind of look forward. So, even at 11 months, you can see there's a very popular room. Same thing for the 2-bedroom villa with the standard view, also very popular. And it's even a lot of points, and it's still very, very popular. And that 2-bedroom lock off with the standard view is gone, not even available at all for that week. Look at that. Look at June. Yeah, now it starts to open a little bit more in July and August. So you can see if you're looking for summer availability, August is really your best bet, just kind of everywhere. Let's look at Vero Beach. So this one has some room categories that do book up. You can see most of them have full availability. And then if we go to view other rooms, we can see that 3-bedroom beach cottage. That is the popular one that people are really after. Look at that. People just love that beach cottage. Wow. So it's not until late August, and I'll tell you exactly what's happening right here. Back to school. Everyone's going back to school. And so if you want to get in there, there is a great time to do it. Although, as we know, that is hurricane season. Our thoughts are with our friends in Florida and the Southeast dealing with Hurricane Ian. I have family in the Cape Coral, Fort Myers area, and it's been quite a week. It's rough. People out there are living without water. They're living without power. It's a slow process. And so our hearts go out to those, and our thoughts are with all of you who are having to deal with the impacts of that. Next, let's move on to Disney's Old Key West Resort. This is another resort with fantastic availability. Generally speaking, Old Key West is going to be the second to last DVC property to fully fill up, with the last one being Saratoga Springs. So there are some room types, though, that are already unavailable at the 7-month window. And you're definitely going to see a trend here. 3-bedroom grand villas, gone. The other trend that you can see is this near hospitality house. So we've got that for the 2-bedroom, the deluxe studio, 2-bedroom lock-off, and the 3-bedroom grand villa. So what I can conclude from that is that people love to be near hospitality house. I know the last time we stayed at Old Key West, we were near hospitality house, which is the main kind of lobby and food area. You can see it's fine later in the summer, not a problem. But yeah, just kind of popular, really popular early May. I don't know why. It's kind of inexplicable, but it is what it is. Let's move on to Copper Creek. This being one of the newer properties does tend to be quite popular. So looking down here at the other rooms, you've got pretty good availability here, but other rooms, there are those studios, the deluxe studio with the walk-in shower, We've got kind of patchy availability. Let's look at that. There it is. Actually, 5 nights is pretty good. If you like to do a split stay like we do, see, I would say, yeah, grab those 5 nights and then do something else for your other couple of nights if you were going to stay for a full week. We also have not full availability on the 2-bedroom lock-off with the walk-in shower. This resort, you have a walk-in shower in some units, and then you have a regular tub shower enclosure in other units. That deluxe studio, popular as well. Although it opens up again in the summer, so you can watch for those coming up. And that 2-bedroom lock-off, also very popular. Next up, we have the villas at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. And this has some brand new room types. So let's go see how those new resort studios are faring at the 7-month window. We've got full availability at the resort studio with the lagoon view and the theme park view. So the theme park view is the most expensive of the studio view types, and the lagoon view is the middle of the road. So the other room type for the resort studio is going to be the standard view, and that one is going to be not full availability. You can see almost all the other room types are not full availability. So the 2-bedroom lake view, the deluxe studio with the lake view, and just all of these just kind of half available or less than half. So you can see this is a reminder that even with this new expansion, Grand Floridian is still a pretty small DVC property. This expansion was much needed, and it's going to free up a lot more studio availability, but Grand Floridian is still a very popular resort. All right, here we go. When we're talking about availability, this is one of the tightest ones of all. We've got Animal Kingdom Villa's Jambo House. Now, we did have full availability at Kidani Village. It is definitely a different story over at Jambo House. Generally speaking, these rooms are going to book up first. You can see the only thing left is that the 1-bedroom of both view types. And let's look at things that do not have full availability. We've got the standard view studio at only 4 nights. You can see that's kind of patchy. It's actually pretty good availability. It's just kind of a time with some holes in the availability there. And then we've got, again, patchy availability for the 2-bedroom, lock-off, the dedicated 2-bedroom. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, a lock-off is where it's like a studio and a 1-bedroom that are being combined together to create one room, whereas a dedicated one has only the one door on the outside, and it doesn't have that extra kitchenette in the other bedroom because it's not actually a studio. So the lock-offs can be split apart into a studio and a 1-bedroom. The dedicated is always a 2-bedroom. And let's look down here. We're getting to 2 of these famous room types. We've got value accommodations. Let's look at that value 1-bedroom. And I have a whole video about how the value rooms are kind of a trap for you with DVC. And I'm going to link the video up here so that you know what I'm talking about. If you get to stay in one, you are very lucky indeed. So you can see this value 1-bedroom is the easiest value room to get, and it's still pretty patchy. Let's look at summer. And July is looking a lot better, but yeah, and August is better, but 7-month window, that's tough to get. You might be able to pull it off, but probably not a full week. That value studio though, this room is an amazing bargain. And no, this is not broken. That's the availability for a value studio. And you can see why. 8 points a night on weeknights. Wow. And there it is, July. You have to go all the way out to July to find a couple of available nights, and then a little stretch in August. And there's September. And of course, that's the hardest. That one's one of the hardest to get. Along with this value category, and here's the 2-bedroom lock-off value, we have the Kilimanjaro Club Concierge. DVC only has one property that has club level, and it's Animal Kingdom Villa's Jambo House. And this is just as hard to get as the value rooms. So let's take a look. Let's look at a 2-bedroom club level. And look at that. It's not broken. That is the availability. Look at that, 98 points a night. Wow. That is an expensive room, and people are just devouring the rooms. That is a really, really hard room to book. All right, let's move on to Boulder Ridge. So you can see here only the 1 and 2 bedroom left. So people love Boulder Ridge too. And there's that deluxe studio and the 2 bedroom lock off with very limited availability. Let's take a quick look in there. So actually, it's pretty good availability for that studio. We just picked a time that did not have full availability. And here's Hilton Head Island, and this resort has only a 2 bedroom with full availability. Let's see how those other rooms are looking. 6 nights, 6. Okay, so really, it's not bad. There's pretty good availability there. There's just a night missing. So if you were going to go after this, you'd have to get up early probably and book that one. Boardwalk. Now this one might surprise you because Boardwalk is a large resort with a lot of rooms. But look at this. All that's left at 7-month window is that 1 bedroom garden or pool view, which is the more expensive version of the 1 bedroom. All of these other room types do not have full availability, and even less than half or none at all. Waitlist only. If you see that, it means that there are no nights available during your search time frame. So these are some very popular views. Even the Boardwalk view, which is the more expensive view type at this resort, those are gone. That standard view studio, this is a hard one to get, and look at it, only 1 night available. Woo, look at that. Very, very popular room. It does start to relax a little bit as we get into July. And you can see August. Hey, there's a great time to book some stuff. Of course, it's farthest away, so it will have been booked the least at this point. All right, and here we are. Speaking of availability challenges for DVC, good old Grand Californian is very, very challenging. Now you can see on Grand Californian that they've split these rooms off into the accessible rooms. This is the only one where they're listed separately like this by default. I don't know why they did that. If you do know, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your insight on that. So you've got these accessible rooms, which of course you can look at if you need these. They have visual alarms or they have the roll-in shower. So that one is wheelchair accessible, and they have that for each of the room types. So the 1 bedroom villa, we've got 3 nights, 3 nights, on the 2 bedroom villa. And so you can see that is getting booked up rather quickly. People are really snapping those up, even though they're quite expensive. And there's that deluxe studio, which a lot of people would love to have. We've stayed in the deluxe studio twice. We've actually booked it 3 times, but we had to cancel and reschedule one because of the pandemic. So it's not impossible to get that deluxe studio, but boy, you got to pick an off-peak time if you want to do that. Like later, probably September would be a good time to try to make that happen for you. So there you go. This is a little trick that I always do, and I know a lot of people know about it. Just scroll forward. You can also scroll backwards and just kind of get a sense of how are things looking. And you can see once we get to the 7-month window, everything will just absolutely be wiped out in that deluxe studio. And generally, most of the room types, let's look at this 3-bedroom category. They've only got 1 night available. Oh, there's a nice stretch there. But boy, that's an expensive room. And even the summer, very, very popular all the way until August. All right. And I think this is our last one on the list. Beach Club. This is a very, very popular resort, and people are always scrambling to get in here, especially because of that amazing pool, Stormalong Bay. Let's look at that very highly desirable deluxe studio. And yeah, not much chance of snagging a room there unless you just want Wednesday night. So you can see this is a really, really hard one to get. We have stayed in a deluxe studio at Beach Club, so we feel very fortunate to have gotten that. That 2-bedroom lock-off, also extremely popular room. And yep, people just grabbing those right up at 7 months. And then we have 6 nights on the 1 bedroom and the 2 bedroom. So let's look at that 1 bedroom. That's probably what you're going to want to go for. So just generally speaking, if you have a resort that you want to get into, and like for us, we're as a family of 4, you kind of have options. You can do a studio or you can do a 1 bedroom. If you can't get the studio, definitely go for the 1 bedroom if you have the points, because those do tend to get booked last. So that's going to be your best bet. So always try to have the points for that, like as a backup plan. So yeah, the Monday is gone, but if I were to get up early the next day, which is the 2nd, but you'll be watching this on the 2nd or later, you would wake up early and hopefully be able to snag that one. So there you go. And the other really one that is kind of within reach maybe is the 2 bedroom. You could wait list that one night and hopefully be able to fill it out. So that's your 7-month availability for October of 2021, booking in May of 2023. If you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a comment and hit like on the video. You can also subscribe to our channel if you want to get the most out of your Disney Vacation Club membership. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Bye.